Hi friends, it's Paris back with another reading. We're gonna get straight into it today because I feel a sense of urgency and excitement. This has been a very synchronistic day today for me. So you could be experiencing a lot of synchronicities outside of just numbers. But when you look closer to the experiences that you're having, like I had took a break from reading. It didn't start with you, and before I had read it today, I had someone DM me and ask me to do a book review for my book club on TikTok, which is like intermeshed with all of this other stuff that I do. But then I went and I did one of my clients, and we just naturally ended up having this conversation about the mother wound and trauma and being like sort of like the black sheep in your family, but the only one that's really on this focused journey of healing. Not that we're all trying to heal, but like I just feel like there's people that take it very seriously. And more so, they take their peace very seriously, which just kind of transforms into healing. And then I ended up doing my book review, and I just feel like within that conversation, there was a lot of things that were revealed to me, and I spoke to her about how I kind of avoid this connection with, I don't know why I'm sharing this, but it could be significant. How I avoid having even being around my family sometimes because it's so emotionally burdensome. And then reading the book and him literally saying that it's not something that you can like avoid and think that it's just going to go away on its own, that it's something that you have to confront. And that just being an area of my life that needs continuous healing. And I just feel like lately I've been trying to disassociate through just watching TV, scrolling, even just not even buying stuff on Shein, but just scrolling and looking at stuff and adding it to a cart to like not connect with my reality, because I'm not exactly where I want to be in all of the areas. And I think this lack of acknowledgement is causing me to lean into things that are not necessarily the most conducive for my growth. There's nothing wrong with scrolling, but when you're scrolling for like 5 or 6 hours, there's something wrong with scrolling. There's nothing wrong with, having a treat now and then. When you're eating 2,000 calories worth of your treat, you're trying to disassociate and fill a hole somewhere. So I feel like that could be significant for you. And then it draws me to a quote that I had with my meditation, which is, "The way will be clear when you clear the way. The way will be made clear when you clear the way." I feel like if you have been on a journey of growth and healing specifically, it could feel like just endless, like tedious in some ways. But this is not about not being enough. There's something about really finding a deeper balance and understanding between what it means to heal, that you can still be enough while you're healing. And understanding that if you are not in the place in your life that you want to be at this particular moment, that looking at the things that may need work should not feel like a chore or like a task that you need to race to get to. Is drawing me to that sense of urgency. This is not something that you need to hurry up and heal. This is something that you have to allow it to flow. And you really just have to get comfortable and okay with the word divine timing, which can be very irritating when you're on this journey as well. Because you can hear it so often, especially if you hear readings, divine timing, divine timing, divine timing. It's like, I don't want to fucking hear anything else about divine timing. If you tell me 2 more weeks, one more time, I promise you I'm going to pop a blood vessel. And that's when you kind of got to step away from the readings, and just, because none of my readings really hit today outside of Freya. Freya Ray is one of the people I love to listen to, and she had one like 15-minute reading that really kind of drew me. But I feel like lately I haven't really been drawn to readings, and I feel like when I get into that energy, it's because I need to do my own, or I need to get back into my own energy. And so we're going to get into the actual reading. I don't want to say that though, that was part of the actual reading. Everything is synchronistic, so there might be something in there that you needed to hear. Yeah. There's something here about this familial energy around healing that you cannot get away from. I really recommend that you read that book. Is also an audio version on YouTube. That you do some of the prompts that he offers. I can post them on here if you would like me to. Because there is something with that familial connection that you keep trying to act like it's not part of your healing or it's not that important, but it definitely is. And here I'm specifically drawn to the father, and I'm drawn to how the father is kind of looking at him, but he's looking away. And this could be your dynamic with your father, the sort of relationship that you have. I feel like he has this face of confusion. You could have a lot of like anger and resentment towards your father and not necessarily even know where all of it stems from. You may be very cognizant where a lot of it stems from, but this could be something that you feel like you've released and you've let go, but there still is something around it that is causing you feelings of anger and resentment, and it's just hard for you to let go and truly forgive. Which does not mean forget, but I think forgiveness and integration is what I'm getting. Like, it's about integrating those experiences and understanding that it's part of who makes you who you are, but also understanding that the things that they have gone through is part of what makes them who they are, and it's not an excuse for their unacceptable behavior. But you holding resentment and anger and this rage towards them is not helping either one of you. There is also something I feel like about your mother relationship. She could have tried to protect you, but didn't necessarily, and I want to say this in a non-critical way, but she did not necessarily do it in the most beneficial or helpful way to you. She could have been distracted and focused on other things. I just feel like he's disconnected. Like, this is his family, but he's disconnected. He's kind of off looking into space. Like, he doesn't really want to be there. I'm drawn to this dog, and the expression on this dog's face is like, so things that you have been through are definitely not easy things to forgive, any easy energy to move through, which is why it's imperative that you don't feel like this is something that you need to rush. But there is something about your connection with your parents that is essential for you to work through, because it is directly tied to your abundance. When I was in Bali, he said specifically, that the father room can affect your finances and how you show up financially. And when you think about masculine energy, even though we all have both, but some men lean more into that masculine energy. And if you had a family dynamic in which conventionally there was an expectation that your dad was a provider and he was not a provider, it is going to affect your relationship with money in some sort of way. You can either have this aspect of like it's the root of all evil, or you can concern yourself losing yourself in money and losing your identity and who you are within the space of money. Yeah. Yeah. You can feel like you continue to struggle with money, almost like it's leaking out of you energetically. But the whole is the hole that you have around your relationship with your father specifically. You don't feel safe to receive because of your mother, but you have a hard time even conceptualizing obtaining what you want because of your father. I've been doing Reiki lately, and I feel like my third eye is the most open that it's ever been in my entire life, and I'm here for it. Reiki could be significant. An energy healing session. There's some good ones on YouTube. What I've learned is that Reiki online is just effective as Reiki in person. So I personally love in-person stuff though. So for me, in-person is the preferred way if I can get it in person. I also am, getting certified in it. I'm only sharing that with you guys because you guys are like, we're on the same wavelength. But I do it on myself a lot. Not as much as I need to, but I am starting to do it on myself and I really enjoy it. So look up some videos for Reiki and get some online Reiki sessions, or look up somebody and ask Spirit to lead you to someone that is going to help you in that area as far as healing energetically, because I feel like it can kind of shift the sand around and pull up some things that that you didn't even know were there. We got the Four of Pentacles. Yes, so this relationship, this father wound that you're dealing with is affecting your stability. It's also affecting your root chakra and your sacral chakra. I continue to forget, rather, the yellow is solar plexus. I believe the yellow is solar plexus energy. But I'm getting all three of those because this looks like orange in his cape as well. The first three, it's affecting your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. You gotta focus on those ones. You gotta focus on them. Give them some love. You gotta start from the root up, is what I'm hearing. You could be really fixated on your crown chakra and your third eye. And again, you're ignoring certain parts of yourself. You got to get brutally honest with yourself. Brutally honest, not critical, brutally honest. And offer yourself love and grace within this process. The love and the grace that you were not given, that was not extended to you. Stuff to work on those chakras, different frequencies, different foods, wearing those colors. I was drawn to wear red today. There's definitely something around that root chakra energy. Also drawn to share this a little personal, but like meditations involving like self-pleasure and like that sacred energy around like physical intimacy could be very important, and reframing what that is and understanding how powerful that Kundalini energy is. My sage is also red. I think it's important for you to sage your energy. I need you to do all of the things around helping support yourself, and I need you to do them with love. Working out and moving your physical body. I started dance about a year ago. Best decision I've made. One of the best decisions I've made for myself within this last, like, really deep into healing, like the last year and about a year and 3 months, was picking up dance. There's something very beautiful about it. You have to see yourself in a different light. You have to settle into your own energy. And I notice that the minute that I start judging myself is the minute that I start moving different. It just connects your mind with your body in such a beautiful way. And it's also, you burn calories, and it's good for your mental health. It boosts your endorphins and your dopamine. And so that could be significant for you. Also, just eating nutritious foods. You don't have to have a perfect diet. Just at least making sure that all of your vitamins and minerals are covered, that you're getting your daily dose of vitamin D, B12, all of those good things. But you got to work on your foundation. Everything you want in life is waiting on the other side for you. But The way will be made clear when you clear the way. And I know you've been working hard. I feel like you need to acknowledge your own work that you put in. I feel like I need to hear this myself. And stop leaning so much into your ego and criticizing every little thing you do. I started this, but if I would have started it 10 months ago, I would be further along, like that sort of thing. Nipping it in the bud before it even gets to that point. Just leave it at, I'm proud of myself for starting this thing. I'm proud of myself for doing this thing. I'm proud of myself for showing up for myself in this way. Thank you, Spirit. I'm hearing Bees in the Trap by Nicki Minaj for some reason. I don't know. I think getting this card though, there could be energies that have tried to trap you in the current reality that you're in. That have tried to keep you stuck. That have tried to make you feel, yes, yeah. Because he literally is kind of trapped in this house. The snow is up to the door. You got all of this sword energy outside. You got footsteps moving away from the door in the snow. People that left you in a time of need. People that enjoyed seeing you down. That enjoyed seeing you struggle. I don't think people truly understand, like, I love light and love, but I'm a Scorpio, which I don't like using like a sign for justification of behavior, but for a deeper understanding, my entire sign is like about birth and death. This kind of balance between between light and darkness. And so I definitely understand the darkness and I definitely understand the light, but a lot of the times I lean more, I have leaned more into the darkness, and sometimes I still lean more into the darkness. And so I feel like I understand like the depths of people's minds. There is nothing that I wouldn't put past a person. There's a full ability for us to be love and light, but you have to truly, you cannot lie to yourself. It's very dangerous when you're around certain people to be like, oh no, they don't really want to, they don't, I think I seen a smirk when I was sad and I was crying, but maybe that's not what I seen. No. And it's because you have this sort of heart where you're like, you could not do that. You would not be that person. And so you cannot imagine another person holding that level of depravity. But I feel like if you're a person that has encountered really dark energies and you've seen people take enjoyment out of your pain firsthand, then you understand that there's this other side of human nature in which it is very much possible that there are people that did not want to see you succeed, that still don't want to see you succeed. And so some of this energy, some of this heavy energy that you're moving through is not all of your own. This is deeper. And some of these people that did not want to see you move on could be your family. The house that you grew up in could have felt like a prison in a lot of ways. It was not a home, it was a hell, is what I'm hearing. And in some ways, you still feel like this trapped child, like you can't get out. I'm hearing that line from the Trunchbull. I'm big and you're small and there's nothing you can do about it. Your parents could have had a sort of like dominating energy, like in that sort of way, like, I'm the adult and you're the child and there's nothing you can do about it. And again, I think for who this is for who this is meant to find you. But One of your parents could have taken enjoyment in having that power over you. Abusing you made them feel better about themselves. This is crazy. Justice. We're lightening the energy. The balancing of the scales. You forgiving and working through, like I said, these very heavy energies. Please do not take lightly how heavy this energy is. You moving through this energy, because you are moving through it and you're going to be on the other side of it, is their karma. Sometimes the most humbling thing that you can do to a person that has harmed you is live a life where they can see that what they did and what they tried to do didn't work. They wanted to turn you cold. They wanted to make you into them, and you're everything but who they were. And that is the best revenge. Revenge. Because you're not a vengeful person. You know, you're doing this because you truly, on some level, you know that you deserve a very fulfilling life, that you deserve peace. And that's what's so beautiful about this chapter that you're stepping into, this healing that you're stepping into, is that you're doing it for you. Your intentions are pure. It's going to piss them off even more. You maybe even catch them bringing up stuff, you know, from, you remember when you were like this, you remember when you were like that, you remember when I did this, when I did that, from this very just narcissistic space of like, you're like, I can't even believe you're now admitting to the stuff that you may have denied all of this time, which again is going to be your confirmation that you were never crazy, that it was done intentionally. That is going to be part of your justice too. This vindication. I'm very happy for you. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. There's no blueprint for it. You know, spirit is holding your hand, but sometimes it's hard when you don't always sense that presence around you. You can feel like you're alone, but you're not. Five of Cups. Yeah, you're tired. You're tired. You cry over this spilled milk. You deserve to cry over this spilled milk. Like I said, that home was broken. Cracks in the foundation. I feel like I got this card and I got something similar off this card a few days ago. But there are things to look forward to right now in the present, and there's going to continue to be things to look forward to. And right now you're just building the base so that those beautiful things can have the most solid foundation to build upon. They're not going to be 1 foot under the ground, 4 feet. They're going to be the full 6 feet under the ground. They're going to have an optimum space for that foundation. Hearing your house is going to be made of bricks, not sticks. It draws me back to our Seven of Swords. That home you grew up in, the foundation was not good. It caused you to have a very shaky foundation. Feeling very unstable, feeling very depressed, feeling very anxious. Not knowing when the next shoe was going to drop. Not knowing when the shoe was going to drop. You can constantly feel like you don't know when the rug is going to... Okay. Let me keep it spirit. Okay. So there's a part of you that, as much as you are excited for this new chapter, there's a part of you that is in opposition of it, because you rather have not experienced it at all than to experience it and then lose it. And it's rooted back to your childhood and that lack of stability that your parents created, that caused you to feel like you could not rest, that you could not rest in your own energy, that you weren't even safe in your own body, because there was constantly some sort of chaos, some sort of disagreement, some sort of disarray. You could have had to move homes a lot of financial instability. And so right now you're in this energy of clearing the way. You're clearing the table. You're learning new things. You're being guided in different ways. Knight of Wands. You're going to be leaving this energy. Love. Confirmation bird. You're going to be the one that makes it out. And you could feel sad leaving some of this behind because it's so familiar. It could feel like something's wrong. But it's not meant for you to stay here. It's not meant for you to stay here. Again, with the red and the green, we've got heart chakra energy and root chakra energy. Work on that root. We'll keep moving up, but for now, work on that root until you feel grounded and stable in your own energy. Until you can sit in silence with no noise at all and you don't feel like you need to do something within that energy. You could be a very passionate person. A lot of love. A lot of love. You really just want to see everybody do well. Even the people that have not wished you well, you want to see them do well. We're going to do a Celestial Insights deck. Little oracle. I love to close it out with an oracle. I just feel like it just, wraps everything up. My good confirmation with the words. Tree. Like a tree, deep roots create stability and growth. Are you feeling ungrounded? Focus on building a strong foundation in all areas of your life to support your long-term growth. We are definitely just like in a matrix, and it's just so cool how everything can just be so, like I said, you could be experiencing a lot of synchronicities right now. For me to talk about roots and so much about the root chakra, and then we get this tree card as confirmation. I love that. Thank you so much, Spirit, for that beautiful moment. Telepathy. Your intuition is connecting you with others. Have you experienced moments of deep understanding with someone? Pay attention to these subtle connections. They could hold the answers you need. So like I said about that conversation that I had with my client earlier today, you could be having some conversations with people that confirm this reading, but also confirm some things about your past experiences that you've had that kind of vindicate and validate your emotions. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy and you're not wrong for feeling the way that you feel. However you feel is completely justified. The only person that can invalidate those feelings is you. That's it for this reading. I send you guys off with all the love in the world. Bye.